Hey, what's up, Patty Flippin' Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Today's dope sleeves from Japan are going to be none other than the boys. Yeah, the boys walking around talking. We got Bede, we got Victor, we got Hop in that order. They're all walking the walk and enjoying some delicious treats. We got Hop with what appears to be a candy applin. We got Victor with Galarian Starbucks, I imagine. We got Bede with nice healthy parfait. The boys making the sleeves. Like I said, Japan's just got some fantastic product and sleeves. Unlike what we kind of get here in the States. Speaking of that, I actually got myself a Happy Meal today. I was able to go and actually pick one up, and we did get one of the nice little Pokemon things right here. Just holding on to it for a little bit. But I had to go to a couple different ones. The first one I went to, I can't even express. They're like, oh yeah, we got the Happy Meals right here, man. We fucking got you. The Pokemon stuff. Look what I got. Got like a Nerf disc launcher with like no box or nothing. They handed it to me in the draft, and I just gave him like the side. I was like, you ain't got no Pokemon stuff, do you? Hey, disappointment aside, let's talk about another disappointment of things that it's a real doozy, this one. CGC cards, my favorite topic, my favorite thing to discuss. Remember that video I put out a little bit where Shiny Vert was cutting cards to actually test if CGC was capable of catching error cards? They are the self-proclaimed error card experts, after all. They're the ones that can actually grade them, give you a nice little error, identify what the error is, and give you a nice label to distinguish what your said error is. Yeah, that video, if you didn't watch it, I recommend go checking out his page. I also did a video covering that stuff as well. Feel free to watch what you did. Rattle also covered the topic as well. Well, Shiny Vert, well, I said well a lot. Shiny Vert actually put up a whole nother video where basically CGC responded to the whole thing. He got a nice little email notification from them and was basically like, hey, man, CGC here, your favorite neighborhood grading company. We watched your video and you intentionally, deceitfully cut cards to send to us. And that violates your contract, so he got banned from the Collectors Club or whatever the fuck it is, this little submission thing. I kind of knew that was coming. I knew that was going to be a thing whenever they actually call into that. CGC just, I don't blame CGC necessarily for that, for the actual actions right there. Honestly, I don't get why they would take that route too hard in the first place, especially when like their business. I mean, like if I had fucked up, I would be on my knees begging people to continue business with me. I'm not really too sure if actual Shiny Vert was going to keep submitting through them anyway. I definitely wouldn't have recommended it, but hey, they're doing that stuff. So he made that video just to essentially call CGC's bluff as the so-called error card experts, right? The guys that can actually put their dicks on cards and through sniff alone, they can figure out if it's an error card. And they couldn't. They couldn't figure it out, and they didn't think any of them were weird. They didn't think of the fucking unaligned cuts. They didn't think the mass quantity of actual error cards being sent in was weird. They didn't really look at, once again, I get like if a grader has a bad day or something like that, there's supposed to be multiple levels of quality assurance actually verifying these cards. There should be people looking at this stuff, especially if you're going to throw the name error on said card, right? Well, he got the email, he read through it, they deactivated the 3 cards that he sent in, the ones that were named in the video, of course, and it's weird. Gets a little weirder than that. According to the email, he violated a couple things, and they're basically weirdly asking for the slabs back, like the actual cards, or they could take some kind of legal action. I don't really know what kind of legal action that would be. There'd just be some real clown stuff for CGC to do. And essentially in the email, they paint it to where like he did this shit maliciously. He did this stuff. It's basically like he cut the cards and he was going to like do this stuff and teach people how to scam the CGC system like that. When, in all honesty, the system should be functioning as it should. They should be able to catch cards. And the entire time I was watching this, the entire time I was looking at it, it just reminded me of my altercation with CGC as well. Like I said, I used to be a big old CGC fanboy. I know I keep saying it. They were the grading company of the people. They were the actual company that I liked. I actually did like their old style slabs, like the blue label. I had several badass cards in CGC slabs. If you go back on my Instagram, you can actually see some of the ones I had. I have since cracked them all. I do not trust CGC as a company. I do not take anything they say seriously anymore. I just don't, because they have proven multiple times they are incapable of doing the things they backed up. Not only with this error card instance right here, but back in the day when they were like, oh yeah, we stand against chemically altered cards. Smear Kurt's Card Care all over your cards, which is designed specifically for glossy sports cards, not for Pokemon cards that do not have a protective layer on them at all. Not your vintage cards. It's fucking got some kind of chemically altering compound in there. It's strong enough to remove signatures and serial numbers. And nowhere on any grading platform does it say that is allowed to be used on cards. Yet for some reason, CGC, when I handed them an instance of somebody using said mysterious splooge on the cards, and they're like, oh yeah, we got you, bro. We fucking totally got you, man. I have a video of that up on my channel too. Dropped the ball, hand walked it to them, hand delivered that stuff, and once again, I wouldn't have a problem with any of this if they didn't take the stance themselves. And this is the problem with CGC, in my personal opinion, over other grading companies. They take these big ass dog stances to try to actually break away from the other grading companies. PSA, BGS, they all have problems, okay? I don't really recommend grading through anybody right this second because I think all the grading companies just... There's too much inconsistency with cards, there's too many people submitting, and there's not enough fine-tuning for quality control anymore. That just doesn't fucking exist because there's too many cards going through, right? CGC is special because they're the loudest motherfuckers about it. Yeah, we grade error cards. Yeah, we stand against chemically altered cards. And both times, they have demonstrated they are incapable of actually following through with any of these claims. They can't catch them. They can't catch chemically altered cards, and they can't catch miscut cards. And they retaliate against the community, showing them the error of what they're claiming. Instead of being like, oh, thanks, guys. We appreciate you showing us that we suck and we need to do better. They lash out in ways like this, just like they did to fucking Shiny, just like they did to me back in the day. They didn't really do that much to me. They didn't claim they were going to come for me with legal action or anything like that. But they definitely unfollowed. They definitely were not cool with me anymore. And I'm not cool with them either. I don't recommend going through CGC. They just don't have anything like CGC Cards. CGC Comics, whole different story. I'm not experienced in the comic book grading community. I don't know enough to say that stuff. They're apparently the PSA of comics, so I mean, do what you will with that. Just when it comes to cards, man, this whole situation reminded me 100% of the chemically altering situation where they themselves made claims. And good on Shiny Vert, my person, but there was a lot of people that were like, oh, this is gotcha journalism. And like, to a degree, I get where you're coming from, but this is people's money. This is the community's money. Even if you don't like me, even if you don't like Vert, even if you don't like any of the stuff that goes on with that, do you feel comfortable grading with CGC knowing the fact that they cannot actually determine what they're looking at? And I'm not saying that as a whole company. I'm sure there's a couple expert people in the actual company themselves. Your average grader, your average Joe going down the line, grading 100 cards a day, grading, I don't know, 150, whatever your fucking quote is. I don't know. It's a 9-to-5 job, I'm sure. But they don't have enough experience. There's people in the community that have the experience to actually verify if these cards are real or not. And in the case of them taking these stances on fucking error cards, which people only grade because they want them to be more valuable than a regular card. That's the only reason people do it. Like, you deserve to know that your money's going to a good fucking place. You deserve to know that, like, CGC is capable of grading your stuff. And as of late, they're just showing they can't do it. I don't trust them with anything. You're welcome to trust them. You're welcome to actually submit to them. You're welcome to tell me I'm a dumbass piece of shit hater, and that's perfectly fine. I don't want you to waste your money. I don't want you to randomly get cards just like 2 years later that they start disintegrating because they couldn't catch chemically altering compounds on them. I just don't want that for you. As someone who works with corrosion preventive compounds and like fucking lubrications, all kind of chemicals as my daily job, and I see what they do to things when you misuse them, I don't want that to happen to your fucking money. I don't want that to happen to your collectibles. And Vert did not want you to actually be, like, imagine, okay, take it like this. You're an actual legit error card collector. Your error card, your legitimate error, has just as good a shot as selling and being good to the average non-knowing collector because of CGC's expert grading as your legit one. Like, someone could just fucking cut the card, do the whole little scissors, make the little cookie safety scissors, right? Whoa, I got like the wavy error. And they throw that on the CGC label. And your card is now just as certified as like this fucking phony fake card that someone made in the community. They highlighted a problem. It's up to CGC now to fix it. There are fucking dick riders that are going, oh, they 100% can't tell. No, they can't. Otherwise, this would have definitely not been approved, and there wouldn't be 3 cards in one submission being approved like that. Hell, there was going to be a 4th one that Vert actually had, but it was too small. They wouldn't take it because it wasn't at least 50% of the card. It wasn't because, oh, this is very clearly a cut card. It's because it wasn't fucking big enough. I highly recommend you go watch the video. I highly recommend you go check out his follow-up. It reminds me so much of just their fucking incompetence, man. You want the cards back? You actually want that stuff back? You should probably be apologizing to the community and trying to up your standards of what you do to catch error cards. You should be a little more transparent on that front, CGC Cards. That's what I would suggest. That's what me, personally, Opossum, would suggest. This is what Nick would suggest, okay? You should probably do something about that. And quite frankly, I don't think your actual customer base is on the rise after this kind of stuff. I've seen multiple different stories of people just dissatisfied with customer service, multiple different stories of people not happy with their submissions, and multiple takes where people are like, oh, they got rid of everything that made them special. Yeah, they have error cards, but I mean, how good is that now? They got rid of subgrades, They're fucking cool blue labels. I mean, yeah, sure, they're new labels. I guarantee some people like them. Not me. This is my CGC right here. This is the CGC I like. This is what they do right here. You just got nice little subgrades, got the blue label. It's a nice fucking firm slab right there. Man, I don't know. Just as a community member, I don't want y'all getting fucked off of stuff that a company is claiming they can do, that they are demonstrating time and time again they cannot. Incompetence or just a lack of care or a lack of experience. Your choice. I don't recommend grading with any of the big three. I'm not a fucking dick rider for any of them. I don't fucking care. I just don't recommend it. That's all I got. Appreciate it, virgins. Appreciate you, Shiny Vert. I really do. Just keep at it, dude. And yeah, have a good one.